All right, fam. Abzan Midrange. Abzan, for the Magic Zoomers in the audience, is these three colors: green, white, and black. Just kind of just like good rate mid-range stuff, huh? So we've got Briarbridge Tracker, 4/3 for 3 that eventually draws a card. We've got plenty of other things to make some tokens for it so it can stay a 4/3 even after we become clueless. Graveyard Trespasser. I think this card's really sweet. I'm going to be trying it a few different kind of mid-rangey shells. This is kind of like a quintessential mid-range threat. Like, its rate is decent, a 3/3 for 3. It has Ward to protect itself and generate 2-for-1s if your opponent targets it with a removal spell. And then it's also Incidental Graveyard Hate that drains your opponent, that then on Nightbound gets even a little bit bigger. Yeah, so we've got Vanishing Verse and Binding as two of the most flexible removal spells in the format. We've got a smattering of different 5-mana card advantage things here. Our mana base is pretty fine. We've got Pathways, we've got Overgrown Farmland. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. You're looking at Arena, and I've got a whole different sideboard interface on Traditional Historic. What? I mean, that deck, I'm pretty sure this deck is flagged as Traditional Standard. Yeah, it's flagged as Traditional Standard. You're saying Traditional Historic is something different? I think you're a liar. Okay. Yeah, you're a liar. Good note. Thanks for wasting my time. Good shout. And by good shout, I mean terrible shout. Was there a patch this morning? Someone else is saying there looks different too. I know there was a client patch last night, but I started it. I restarted my client this morning. My computer was shut down last night. I think we have to mulligan this. If any of these lands made green, this would be keepable with this into this, but if I'm playing this as a land, I just don't have place till turn 4, right? Your Traditional Standard is different too. Yeah, can someone post a screenshot, please? Yeah, instead of people all just saying that, like, your thing works, can you post a screenshot, please? Imgur links are fine in chat. Do I want to play Innkeeper on 2 here? It means this land comes into play tapped later, but that's probably fine, right? That's literally the exact same as my sideboard. I don't understand what you're saying is different here. This is literally identical to what I just showed on screen. It's multiple 1x's with your cards split up. Did you? Yeah. Maybe. It's literally exactly the same as what was on the screen. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. You thought mine has arrows. It does, because it turns them into arrows once you add sideboard cards past 7. So put 8 cards in your sideboard and you'll get arrows too. I'm just gonna do this and kill their champion here. Come on, chat. It's Saturday. Go back to bed, get some rest. Try again tomorrow. We're meat hook massacring. I feel like this is a pretty good meat hook for us. All things considered. It wasn't much of a mess, especially with like Elite Spellbinder in my hand. This could have gone much worse for us. Dies, return to the battlefield, transform attached to target creature or planeswalker opponent controls. Any of... I'll get rid of Zariel. We're pretty far off in terms of mana. We just double tracker here, huh? Yeah, what's going on, Duck? Thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Meaning of your upkeep. Oh, so I get a turn with this. I think I'm just sacrificing this, right? Because I don't want to sacrifice a thing every turn. And then we'll fire this up and just smack them for 10 here. I guess I could sack a clue. But then if I want to draw with the other clue, I'm not going to have... Yeah, I'm just going to sack this. I'm going to grind them out here. Guess they have a lot of cards in hand, but I've got cards in hand too, kind of. And Jiminy. It's pretty good. The pack has betrayed me. Big mood. Which deck seems to be the top in Standard right now? We don't know. Standard just rotated. Anybody that tells you they already know which deck is the top of the Standard format is either an idiot or someone trying to sell you something. And in either case, you should probably be cautious and not listen to them. Formats existed for 2 days, chat. Take a deep breath and enjoy the exploration period. I guess these things each do 2 to us right now. When it rains, it pours, fam. When it rains, it pours.
Fight like you're so my army ever grows.
So if I attack with both of these... Yeah, maybe I was supposed to just sack a clue and keep more pressure on. Flooding out here felt really bad. God, how many spells did we have this game? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells in 17 cards. And 2 of those spells were just Innkeepers. They have a lot of little Dorkos. Crippling Fear could be okay. Max ones seem kind of mediocre. I don't know that I have room to cut all of them, though. They did have Champion of the Perished in their deck. So maybe I want some cheaper removal. Let's try that. Doesn't the Shuffler know how to mana weave? Asking the real questions. The Shuffler does know how to mana weave, chat. It's just out to get me personally. It's rigged against us. All right, look at that. Lash of Malice paying dividends immediately. Listen, chat, I've never lost a match on Arena because I've played poorly or made a mistake. It's always been because the Shuffler is out to get me. Our hand's pretty good here. Got Trespasser on 3, tapped land Spellbinder on 4, 5th land Wrenn and Seven on 5. I think my favorite conspiracy nuts are the ones that are like, Arena's out to get you and make sure you only ever have a 50% win rate. They're like, Arena screws you, but it also makes sure you win half your matches. I think the funniest part about those conspiracy theories too are like, have you seen the quality of Arena as a piece of software? Do you think the people that barely had time to make the application functional to begin with had time to program it to get you personally? I guess this stuff is held together with like bubble gum and a prayer, chat. It ain't out to get you. Battlefield does something similar to that. Alright, call and cite an official source. Explain to me what Battlefield does to guarantee you a close to 50% win rate. Also, Battlefield's like a 32 player versus 32 player game, right? It's like a big team game. So I'm really curious what your conspiracy theory sounds like that you think that game's out to get you. Call it whatever, chat. They're all shooty bang bang games, okay? All your shooty bang bang games are the same. MOBAs specifically do try and get you a 50% win rate. You mean MOBAs and other skill-based games pair you based on your play ability to try and get you reasonable games that challenge you? Is that what you're saying? That's not a conspiracy, that's just good laddering. It's just good design. Peak internet is people calling something a conspiracy because they can't pub stomp. That's skilled. MMR is the Illuminati. So Wren's gonna die to these Spider-Man, but I'll make a 6/6 before we do. I'd win every MOBA game if my team was better. That's true. I've never lost a game of Pokemon Unite because I made a mistake either. I always lose because my teammates are bad.
The forest will be overrun.
I think I'm killing these spiders.
How hard could it be? It's the least you.
Well, so Silver versus Plat in Arena is because Arena tries to pair people quickly. Man. Do we have too many lanes in this deck? It is worth noting, and this is so... One of the things that is a real consideration in these types of games is one of the questions people often ask themselves is, does the mana in this format support 3 colors? And I think the answer to that question is almost assuredly, yes, the mana in this format supports 3 colors. That being said, the 3-color mana bases in this format the 3-color mana base in this format do come at a real cost, right? Because beginning to play fewer utility lands makes your deck less consistent in these longer games. No, if I main phase the verse, my opponent would have gotten to kill my Kaya a turn sooner, and I wouldn't have gotten a counter on my Spellbinder. Hey, look who finally decided to show up. Our opponent's drawn 5 lands this game. We've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's casual twice as many. Oh, I guess I had a 6th down here, right? They discarded one to my ward. I mean, they're dead on board. You draw a piece of burn. They're dead because we finally drew a creature land. God bless creature lands, chat. They're so good. They're so good. Crippling Fear was instrumental there too. How many lands are we on? We're on 20. I guess we're on 28 technically with Tangled Florahedron. That might be a little high. Okay. It's a little scary. This triggers for both players. This card might be playable. It seems pretty good. Cadillac's pretty good too, though. Cadillac's solid with Tracker, because Tracker crews this, and this provides plenty of tokens for Tracker. It's a little sad. This copies non-creature tokens, chat. Oh, that's so good. I don't know why I thought this was only creature tokens. Delicious. It's just, I mean, of course it copies non-creature tokens, chat. It's just good deck building. That's why we put these cards together. Big brain master deck building.
Into the fray.
Into the fray. You know what else it copies, chat? Copies Wrenn and 6 tokens.
From root to canopy, the trees are mighty.
Now we're popping off. Our deck seems a lot better when we draw spells. That's weird. Can someone write that down? Are you taking notes at home, chat? Cut lands, add spells. That is exactly what I said. Chat gets it. See, chat's brilliant. You understand. Hey, what's going on, tour guide? Welcome back. I mean, to be fair, Tangled Florahedron doesn't really give us more action, right? Oh no! Not my tree folk token! How will we ever recover from this loss? Chat, that tree folk token was irreplaceable.
Every seed contains great potential.
To the Cadillac. Prioritizing exiling the creatures out of their bin just in case they have something that picks creatures back up. Deadly Dispute here. Nice, Smith. VT Dubs, if you're someone that was trying to submit your deck list at MTG Melee early yesterday, because you knew what you wanted to play and it wasn't working, that bug has been fixed, so you can submit deck lists now for the tournament tomorrow if you're signed up. Obviously, deck lists are not due. I think it's 20 minutes before the tournament starts. They're due. Check the rules. It's either 15 or 20 minutes, I believe. But if you know what you're doing, you want to get it in advance. You can also submit it now, just so you have something in and keep playing, and then make changes to it later before the event starts. As long as you're in before the cutoff. See, chat? There's no lands in this hand. Very clearly, we need to cut spells and play more lands. Okay, I think with the third actual land drawn, this is going to be a spell. Although against turn 1 blue-red snow, this is likely to just eat it, right? All right, I lied. Let's just do this. Get that, chat. We can have our cake and eat it too. Both of these cards are sweet because they're like kind of aggressive 3-drops that 2-for-1 your opponent. Chat, it's a magic missile. Am I supposed to get rid of this? I'm probably supposed to save this for a scary dragon, right? I'll save this for a scary dragon. Exile the creature from our graveyard because we don't care about our graveyard and it drains. I mean, you don't have to have a Cool Stuff Inc. account made in advance to play in the event, but you'll need to make one if you want to order stuff using the store credit that you've won. So Christy should have DM'd you a code for store credit, good for whatever amount that you won. I forget offhand what the 4-2 prize is exactly. Yeah, everybody that gets goes at least 3-2 gets some prizes. I think I'm leading on this. So this way, next turn, I can crack the Clue plus Vanishing Verse if I brick on a land for Wrenn. I like this card a lot. You're gonna see me, like I mentioned, you're gonna see me playing this card in a few different shells. It's very possible I made a mistake by not Vanishing Versing this Alchemist on 3. Still a lot of damage at this point. Could do this. Could also just Wrenn and Seven, make a token. I had a submission for something else, actually, Ryan, so we didn't get to Stark Delver. He played Red-Black Adversary Luris. Spellbinder, they're like slowly running out of cards for Spellbinder to take out of their hands. I think I want to do this first. This also threatens to block and trade with Delver. Yeah, Vigilance on Tracker is great. And now if they flip Delver, they're not casting this turn, which is great. I assume we're going to see them play with fire here and then crack us for 3. Alright, chat. Now we're off to the races. So crack you for 4, make a 6/6 with reach. They do technically have 6 damage rolled up, and we're at 9, but we're closing pretty quickly here. We've got Tracker, we've got the Tree Folk, and we've got the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, so they're dead on board. I think this is the right play on the opponent's part. They're just like going for our dome here, hoping to peel enough burn to kill us. That was an above average Wrenn and 6. Slightly. Marginally. Okay, so if I do this, they have to block at least one of their things. +1 my Planeswalker draw 4, chat. It's no big. Friend. Solid pivot after stabilization here. We had some decent early aggression, but then we were hit the ground running at the end there. I think I want this. Do I want Ray of Enfeeblement? It just kills Delver. Probably not. What are the odds they have other things that die to -1 toughness? Probably low. Yeah, Tracker is all tokens, not just clues. So, you know, Chariot, our various planeswalkers, treasures from the Innkeeper. This card's very strong. Very, very strong. We'd probably just drag the curve down here. It's like trim some bindings and a Kaya. Yeah, if your deck is, you know, we have 26 lands in this deck, so Wrenn draws like 1.8 cards per plus. The open is Standard tomorrow, because Standard just rotated. I think this card is pretty playable in general. I honestly would not be surprised if this card was just like main deckable as a 4 of and things, because it slows down something that you don't want your opponent to be playing quickly, and then when they do eventually play their card, it draws you a card, right? So super reasonable tempo play that then replaces itself that only costs you 1 mana. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if this card's eternal playable too. Like this could very well be a multi-format all-star, I think. Hey Jerry, thanks for the 41 months. Welcome back. I'm gonna ping the person that manages the bot, by the way. A lot of issues. Just make sure they're aware. Yeah, this is fine. I'll bottom the Spellbinder, I think. Sure. You need format knowledge. I wouldn't say that. Most Magic cards are better. Most interactive tools are better when you're familiar with the format. That was no exception. So, little bit punished for being conservative, as should always be the case. We bottomed a spell and kept our lands. Now we're flooding a little bit. It's my favorite card for the new set so far. I think the Moonveil Dragon, probably. Moonveil Dragon was super strong in both the decks we played it in yesterday. Could last draw step to see a card from the opponent. Yeah, what if they have like a counter spell? Make me big sad. Hey chat, remember what that time they spent 2 cards to kill my card, the Drew card? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Just good clean value right there. I think if Jim's not a fan of Moonveil, he's gonna be on the wrong side of history. That effect is super powerful. I don't think it's like busted by any means, but it's definitely strong. Last forest in the deck since we drew those 2. Yeah, I agree with that conclusion, Drunk Owl. I think in a lot of situations it's better than Experimental Frenzy, and Frenzy was a super playable card. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. I actually do have, like, this deck's playing 26 lands, but we are playing 4 creature lands. We're only on 22 actual lands. It could also be potential that I want to play some adversaries in this deck, so I have something useful to do when we flood. Like having some kind of big mana sink could be good. Maybe we'll explore that after this. After this match. The Hydra. Well, so we have a good green-white dual land, so we don't have good green-black or black-white. So I'm playing the green-white dual land, and then I'm playing the black creature land to balance that. And then, like, I need some forests in my decks for bindings to be able to fish lands consistently. So, like, I've got 2 Arctics and a basic forest for that. Field of Ruin is also legal in this format, and there's the green-red ramp spell, so I think you want some basics in your deck to try and avoid getting punished. Right, well, we're dead. I don't think I have any single draws that prevent me from being dead to this now. Slide, casual, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 6. I'll take a peek at their hand on the way out the door, I guess. Primal Adversary. Yeah, maybe I might try the black one. The black one's basically a removal spell because it has Death Touch, which is nice. catch a break. They have an aggressive start here. We're going to be in trouble. Yikes. I mean, like, it's really easy. It's really easy to be like, Jeff, put more 6-mana spells in your deck. When, like, last game, it's very easy to be like, well, idiot, why don't you have more 6-mana spells in your deck? But then, like, you have to understand that there's also going to be a lot of games like this, right? Where, like, I have just a bunch of cards that, like, there's already a lot of cards in this deck that cost a lot of mana. Which is why I suggested a card like Adversary, because the adversaries are cards that scale when you go late, but they also play early. Yeah, Dan, sometimes it's responding to commands, other times it's just like doing nothing like now. They have a Disdainful Stroke in hand. Oh my god, I just played that on the wrong color. Oh man, it's early. Well, I mean, I guess I'm playing this because I need to get through this stroke eventually, but now I can't guaranteed play this next turn because I just played the wrong land side. Clicking too quickly. It's a pretty huge mistake. Maybe a burn spell for one of these two. The Ham Shuffler chooses the wrong side, yeah. There's a chance they have another counterspell, obviously, but if they didn't, getting Lolth down here would be very, very good. Yep. Yeah, I deserve to lose this. I don't know, I deserve. I misclicked. No. Gotta play a little slower. Our deck was likely capable of winning that, depending on what their hand looked like. I cut these Florahedrons and put something else in, I think. 26 plus those being basically mana. You can find my past deck list on the YouTube channel or by checking out my profile on my Untapped page if you're interested in decks that we played and what cards they had in them. How do you spell Adversary? Adver. I feel like maybe I don't want Spellbinder and I just want a bunch of these style of cards so we have things that scale when we flood. Let's try that. Let's cut. This makes our curve look a little nicer too. We've got 11 and 11 now. William, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Might also want some more cheap spot removal here. Lash of Ray of Enfeeblement wasn't super exciting there. I kind of wish I had more ways to kill bigger things. Play a couple more flunks here, I think. Crippling Fear might just prefer spot removal to Crippling Fear. Let's try that. I think Vanishing Verse is arguably the best removal spell in the format, so I think splashing for the best removal spell in the format is somewhat reasonable, yeah. You're right that I wouldn't splash for Kaya and a curse, but that's not what we're doing. I also like the splash is only really costing us a couple of creature lands, which is nice. It's like there's some small downside there, but it's not huge. There's not really pressure to get rid of this in the short term. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play this now, because if we can keep the treasure token to keep this a 4/3, that's nice. I can also start attacking with this sooner. I need you to tell me that my mid-range dreams were endure. I can't bib. We just don't know. Hopefully they'll be okay. Well, so playing Blizzard Brawl in a 2-color deck is not trivial. It involves playing a bunch of always tap dual lands and having to choose between pathways and creature lands. Oh, I guess I missed a point of damage by not binding here before combat. They live at 1. It's my fault. Want to make sure we put this on black next turn, because we do have double black cards in our deck. People always seem to think enabling snow cards like Brawl and Faceless Haven is easier than it is. Oh, I forgot about that one, Harlequin. That's probably better than the Infernal Grasp I threw in there. I tossed an Infernal Grasp in the sideboard, but the reason the card doesn't say Surveil on it is because Wizards is silly. Wizards doesn't like to reuse old keywords in standard sets. But they will reuse them in supplemental sets. That's why Dragon's Rage Chandler says Surveil on it. Running against Saw It coming tier and be sad, but it is what it is. Holy crap, we didn't get Saw It coming. I don't know what to do with my hands, chat. I wasn't prepared for this to resolve. This is pretty good with Innkeeper here too. Makes these a little bit defensive, which is sweet. Oh, these also crew Cadillac if you're out of other tokens, and they enable Briarwood. Yeah, this card's probably pretty good here, huh? And the Adversary cycle seems super strong. It might be wide enough to beat this extra turn spell here. Fecker Axe, I got you.
Are you enraptured? My power is for annihilation.
Quick maps. They go block, block, block. They take exactly 7. Good beats. Alright, so dragons. Check for traps seems good. Honestly, Curse of Silence seems pretty good. We know they're gonna have a bunch of 4-ofs. Wrenn and Seven is great. Skyclave Shade is great. Having another way to just kill a dragon for 2 mana seems good. What are we trimming at this point? What seems not great? The incidental life gain from this seems not important. Maybe we trim some binding because they're a little on the expensive side. Is Kaya good enough? Kaya's kind of just expensive removal like binding, right? I think I'd rather have binding. Like trim a Primal Adversary here. I think I like this. Archmage's Charm. Okay. It's a great pickup. We have a curve now. And I'd rather play this on 2 than this because this is an 0-4. The old 2 land, no second color. Does Hearthstone have separate ladders for wild and not? It does. Okay, that's interesting. All right, and this doesn't really do much here, so I think we just, like, play the land and pass to get this flipped over, so that way it's a 4-4. This now before it starts doing stuff.
I will get what I want.
I will get what I want. This bad Mamma Jamma deals 2 damage to anything when it flips over. Single Alderun's Epiphany also flips it. I would bet this card's very good in the Blue Red Dragons deck. Flipping this card with Epiphany seems absurd.
The light is insufferable.
Hold on to the land for now, since we have Skyclave Shade. Tainted Adversary is pretty far off of kicking a second time. There's a good chance they flip this egg and start triggering it this turn. It's going to be real bad for us. I mean, I should just have, like, max bindings in my deck. Their deck's relatively threat light. So there's a chance they flip this before blocks. But if they do that, eat this, then there's a good chance Wrenn and Seven gets to resolve, which I think is okay for us. Yeah, that's probably the game. I guess we'll play a 6/6 out. Trespasser actually seems pretty bad in this matchup. It doesn't attack into these 0/4s. And it doesn't attack into the 0/4s. They don't really care about their graveyard, and they're really good at casting 2 spells to flip it back. Like that turn I took my turn off. So I think that's gonna be my my cut to fit in some more removal spells here. 3. This Primal Adversary is fine. It attacks through. Maybe I don't want check for traps, just want cards that play to the board. Put Kaya back in. Max kill your stuff. That seemed okay space. We haven't run into any green or white aggro. But it seems like it probably has tools to hold its own against the other bigger decks in the format. No second black yet, but we've got some draw steps before we need it. Binding technically fishes us up a second black. I'll play this out because it technically represents Vanishing Verse, so that could maybe impact what they choose to do. I'm definitely just playing Adversary as a 3 mana 4/3 next turn. Unless they play a threat and we draw a removal spell. Now, we can't play Queen next turn, but we can Vanishing Verse. No, there was Brawl matchmaking is fixed again, was in the patch notes, Ivo. So it is functional again. Planning to return to doing Brawl on stream next week. Monday. All right, I think with this draw, I want to hold up Crack Clue / Vanishing Verse now. So we go land, play this, hold up Verse / Clue. Yeah, I'm really glad they got it sorted. I was sad that that wasn't functional. It's nice having a few different formats to choose from on Arena. Alright, we have negate. Now they can have a Saw It coming. Oh wait, no, they only have 2 mana. We're supposed to just hope for no second negate. Got this now in case we find a 2-drop. Yeah, I really hope. I know Wizards said they're not doing Pioneer Masters, but I hope they make a point to get more Pioneer staples onto the platform, so that way. What's it called? I think I'd rather Lolth resolve than Wrenn. It's close though. It's probably Wrenn. The token's huge. So that way we can get Pioneer on this platform sometime soon too. Just see so many cards. Expressive Iteration is so powerful in just every Magic format. Incredible chance to have another counter spell here now. Okay, sweet.
Calm the trees.
Thick tree friend. We have enough lands. We're 1 land off of activating 2 hives. Think any of these cards in the graveyard matter? Yeah, I honestly, like, it's the Pioneer Light idea I think would be a great idea. They just do, like, they need to put out just, like, 1 Pioneer anthology with, like, the 25 to 30 most popular Pioneer cards that are missing from the client, and then just, like, put up a Pioneer queue that's just, like, the Pioneer format with the cards they have so far. Wrenn and Seven getting to flex its muscles there against Goldspan Dragon very nicely. Yeah, basically what... Yeah, that's how they did Vintage, and even Legacy was like that on Moto for a little while. And actually, Vintage and Legacy on Moto are technically missing cards that are paper legal. So what I'm suggesting has precedence because those formats technically aren't pure on the other digital platform, chat. Sees the thoughts. Thanks for the follow. Old Man Suede, thanks for the 2 interiors. 2 years later and Standard's finally playable. Ain't that the truth? I mean, like, eventually we would want every Pioneer legal card on the platform, but like just having like, here's all the popular ones and everything else we already have ready as a stopgap. So just like you could have another queue in the meantime would be like great. And I've talked about this at length before, but like if someone asked me, they're like, Jeff, why would I start like a brand new player comes up to me and they're like, Jeff, there's Hearthstone, there's Magic Arena, there's Legends of Runeterra. Like, why would I pick Magic Arena as the application I start with today? And in my opinion, adding more playable formats to the platform leverage Magic's greatest strength. Magic's biggest strength over its competitors is the breadth of playable formats that its 25 years of history could offer. And doing things like getting Pioneer onto the platform would lean into that great strength that Magic has over the other games, other similar games in the same genre. I have a main deck sweeper here. I could be a little sad running this out. They've also been playing Drago, though, so, like, playing this out means that, like, if they pass next turn, we get to flip tonight, which is great. Tracker's very good. This is a format staple, guaranteed. This is a good... People are asking me day one for safe crafts, and I wouldn't say anything other than lands. This is a pretty safe craft. Crippling Fear is actually the best card in their deck that they could have there. So, feels appropriately Magic, man. Also pretty peak Magic that I've, like, sat here and drawn a bunch of removal spells against the control deck. It's bad, man. It is best of 3, correct. We're going to get a chance to sideboard and mitigate this matchup variance here. Make some friends. If we don't draw a Planeswalker next turn, we're gonna concede. God damn it, deck. Now I have to keep playing the game. Why would you do this to me, deck?
You could have such
I've been cursed with the requirement of continuing to play this game of Magic. The top decks that are like enough to give you a small glimmer of hope, but almost assuredly also not enough to like get you back in the game. Our board is very menacing, at least. Rawr, we're very scary. Rawr. There's spot removal for my Hive. That's big sad. If this Hive got to attack, it would get to exile their flashback spell, which would be great. Power word kill. I hope you play against blue-red dragons for your next 10 matches, opponent. Playing power word kill in your control deck. May your answers never line up, control opponent. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and concede. That's just too many terrible cards here for the matchup. Let's go ahead and get boarded. So we can get Check for Traps, and Curse of Silence, and Skyclave Shade, and Wrenn and Seven. We'll cut these Innkeepers. We'll cut most of these Verses and a Binding, I think. Seems good. I like it. Yeah, so, like, you look at the cards we're sideboarding out here, right? And, like, we drew half the cards we're sideboarding out that game, basically. Yeah, but like my opponent's deck has a lot of pretty flexible answers, Leapbert, and like playing a 1/1 for 1, 1/1 for 2 is like not particularly exciting. I'd rather just have more individually powerful cards. We literally haven't guessed it. I've guessed the black one a few times. That's been fine. Oh, that's not true. I cast it as a 4/3 and it died to a removal spell at one point. I don't know. I think this card's almost assuredly playable. I don't think any of this. I think all of this cycle is playable. I don't think any of them are gonna break anything. I think you're just gonna be like happy to draw them in a lot of spots. Do I want to just play a turn behind with this Jawari Disruption? I think so. Desert Doom is really good. Starting with dessert. Listen, I'm an adult now. I can eat whatever I want whenever I want to, okay? This is why I have some basics in my deck, despite them being a touch awkward sometimes. Do I take Meat Hook here? I think I take Meat Hook and then we play another... Oh, if I play another spell this turn, these flip to 3s though, right? So I can't play another spell this turn? Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna take Power Word Kill, I think, so that way they can't get rid of this next turn, and then we'll play a land out.
Try to play blindfolded. You know, I want to leave it like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these cards would be gas, or these cards would be gas with Aether Vial. This is gonna get to exile the Memory Deluge next turn too. Sounds great. I mean, to be fair, playing blindfolded Historic's probably not that bad, because, like, does it really matter which card you're looking at to cast if it's getting memory lapsed anyways? Hey, what's going on, CGB? So, unfortunately, they flipped it back to day as well. So I could animate Hive, but like this also exiles something when it comes into play, right? So I could do this and exile the Siphon Insight, so they lose that flashback. And then I have time for the Hive of the Eye Tyrant to fire up and get the other one later. Oh wait, was that my Flunk? No, they have another card here still? Was the client just bugged and not showing me? Oh yeah, the Flunk went to their graveyard. Okay, so they still have one of our cards. The client was just being buggy and not showing it to me. Got it. So if they don't make a if they don't kill the Trespasser gets to exile their flashback spell. But the Hive still does that anyways, so we're in an okay spot regardless. Making 1-for-1 their Meat Hook or their Crippling Fear here. I have 2 Hives, so they can't like Field of Ruin me and Hive. In order to save their big flashback spell here, they'd have to have a piece of spot removal too. Which, to be fair, this could be a Vanishing Verse. Okay, sweet. So I think we're still a little bit behind because of the Meat Hook Massacre here, but not the end of the world. Oh, that was such a good top deck. This can attack at least because it has Menace. Oh, you know what? I'm probably supposed to just exile my own 2 cards there to deal with, yeah, that was wrong. I should have exiled my own 2 cards because I don't care about my graveyard and we would have put them to 7. We're gonna lose this game by 2 points and be big sad.
If the job is wrong, I changed the terms.
The animation on this is sick. So I get to spend this 4 mana to turn these basics into 3/3s. Yeah, because basics mean that Field of Ruin can't kill it. Pretty sure I want to kill Kaya here. But I also don't want to kill her badly enough that, yeah, imagine I had put them 2 lower here with proper targeting on my werewolf. You have to draw 2 cards here now. A single Hive would be lethal if I had. I guess they have 2 Field of Runes though, so it's pretty unlikely to matter. Let's see what they do. Sick. Okay, little bit lucky there. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. I'm gonna run it back. Face is the place. Thanks for the follow. Good morning. Probably the Binding, right? Just keep all the threats. Wonder which card we're putting Curse on this matchup. I don't know. Probably something that's likely to be a 4 of that they haven't played. Insight's so good. Super powerful effect. Yeah, putting it on Siphon's probably a pretty smart play on average. I wonder if there's merit to not having these in my deck because of their cards that steal our shit. I don't understand why Insight is good. Yeah, because it draws 2 cards, and it draws 2 cards with selection. And a big part of what makes it good is, unlike a lot of these effects that take cards off your opponent's deck when you choose, this can play lands as well. So in a control deck, this allows you to take your opponent's win conditions, but also hit your land drops. It's like a split land drop threat card. Like, look what it did here, right? Very, very powerful effect. Yeah, the fact that it plays lands makes it different than a lot of those cards are templated. Possible I'm supposed to just fire up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant here rather than running into a Jawari Disruption. Hashtag sometimes lucky.
Do not underestimate the forest because of its beauty.
Wrenn and Seven is also it's really good in general, but it's excellent with Skyclave Shade because it's Wren's +1 provides you with a constant flow of mana to bring your shade back again and again and again. They don't have snow mana, so I don't think Blood on the Snow is something we're concerned about here, which is nice.
Won't stand by as innocent people are
Yeah. So Kaya's +1 only matters if they have creatures. Do I just put them to 2? Just like make them have 2 removal spells next turn? I think that's the play, right? Feels like a good one to end on. That to me is again like I really enjoyed Standard 22 even when we had the best of 1Q, but like that game really highlighted why sideboards and best of 3 are so quintessential even in Standard to letting mid-range decks be playable, right? Like that first game where we got stuffed because we just like drew a bunch of clunky removal spells that just didn't line up well into what our opponent was doing felt really bad. But in the post-board games, we were able to pivot off of most of these cards that weren't stellar for that reason into other powerful cards like Check for Traps and Skyclave Shades and more Wrenn and Seven that were good in the matchup, letting us maximize what our deck is doing more frequently. Again, when I'm really early on in a format, I don't like to focus on entire deck lists, but rather highlight specific cards that feel powerful that might be worth exploring in this list more or other places. And honestly, all 4 of these cards felt good at different spots, and they're honestly all great mid-range threats, right? Like, these cards have okay rates for their base, and then they're cards that allow you to dump mana into them as the game goes long. So when you flood a little bit, they're a flood payoff in addition to helping you curve out well early. And then both Briarbridge Tracker and Graveyard Trespasser allow you to generate card advantage on threats that like have decent rates, right? Like if they want to spot remove Graveyard Trespasser, you get a 2-for-1. They want to spot remove or you trade with this in combat, you had a clue that you sacrifice to draw another card. And this deck incidentally makes a lot of tokens between Innkeeper and Chariot and our various Planeswalkers that you could often sacrifice your clue and still have this be a 4/3 because it just cares about any token being in play. The mana was super functional. We had 3 colors, but we cast our spells pretty consistently. The 4 creature lands felt pretty good. Yeah, I like where this ended, Beansy. I think if I were to think about making some changes to this, maybe we have like a touch too much interaction in the main deck, and I'd like a little bit more proactiveness. Like maybe go down 1 or 2 binding and like get another Wrenn and Seven and maybe another Lolth in here as things that like can hold the board but also apply pressure nicely, because your control matchup will be a bit better game 1 if you can do that too. And I don't think your aggro matchup will be meaningfully that much worse with more of these cards. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. I just wanted to pop on and do at least a couple of decks this morning because we have a ton of submissions to the deck queue. Shout out to Oglandia for keeping me employed and supported here as always. I'm planning to take the kids out to a local campground today, and we're meeting out with some of the other Cub Scouts to do some stuff there with them. So that should be fun. I'll be back all day tomorrow. Is the Hoglandia Open, 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. PST. If you're interested in playing in that, you can sign up still on MTG Melee. Deck lists are due tomorrow morning, half hour or so before the event starts. If you're interested in watching, Jim Davis will be joining me for coverage all day for that event. So I will hopefully see a bunch of you around for the Open tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see some of you playing in it. Excited to see what people bring to battle with, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Remember, if you're looking for more stuff for myself, we spent all day yesterday and Thursday playing lots of great standard and some historic as well. So a bunch of those decks are published on my YouTube now, and you can check those out if you're into some pre-recorded content.